Please subscribe, like and share this content. It means a lot to us. Thank you in advance.
To U.S. Code Chapter 9, Office of Legislative Counsel. To U.S. Code Subchapter A, Senate. To U.S. Code Paragraph 271, Establishment. There shall be in the Senate an office to be known as the Office of the Legislative Counsel, and to be under the direction of the Legislative Counsel of the Senate. To U.S. Code Paragraph 272, Legislative Counsel. The Legislative Counsel shall be appointed by the President pro tempore of the Senate, without reference to political affiliations and solely on the ground of fitness to perform the duties of the office. To U.S. Code Paragraph 273, Compensation. The Legislative Counsel of the Senate shall be paid at an annual rate of compensation of $40,000. To U.S. Code Paragraph 274, Staff, Office Equipment and Supplies. The Legislative Counsel shall, subject to the approval of the President pro tempore of the Senate, employ and fix the compensation of such assistant counsel, clerks, and other employees, and purchase such furniture, office equipment, books, stationery, and other supplies, as may be necessary for the proper performance of the duties of the office and as may be appropriated for by Congress. To U.S. Code Paragraph 275, Functions. The Office of the Legislative Counsel shall aid in drafting public bills and resolutions or amendments thereto on the request of any committee of the Senate, but the Committee on Rules and Administration of the Senate may determine the preference, if any, to be given to such requests of the committees. The Legislative Counsel shall, from time to time, prescribe rules and regulations for the conduct of the work of the office for the committees, subject to the approval of such Committee on Rules and Administration. To U.S. Code Paragraph 276, Disbursement of Appropriations. All appropriations for the office of the Legislative Counsel shall be disbursed by the Secretary of the Senate. To U.S. Code Paragraph 276A, Expenditures. With the approval of the President pro tempore of the Senate, the Legislative Counsel of the Senate may make such expenditures as may be necessary or appropriate for the functioning of the office of the Legislative Counsel of the Senate. To U.S. Code Paragraph 276B, Travel and Related Expenses. Funds expended by the Legislative Counsel of the Senate for travel and related expenses shall be subject to the same regulations and limitations, insofar as they are applicable, as those which the Senate Committee on Rules and Administration prescribes for application to travel and related expenses for which payment is authorized to be made from the contingent fund of the Senate. To U.S. Code Subchapter 2, House of Representatives. To U.S. Code Part 1, Purpose, Policy, and Function. To U.S. Code Paragraph 281, Establishment. There is established in the House of Representatives an office to be known as the Office of the Legislative Counsel, referred to hereinafter in this subchapter as the Office. To U.S. Code Paragraph 281A, Purpose and Policy. The purpose of the office shall be to advise and assist the House of Representatives, and its committees and members, in the achievement of a clear, faithful, and coherent expression of legislative policies. The office shall maintain impartiality as to issues of legislative policy to be determined by the House of Representatives, and shall not advocate the adoption or rejection of any legislation except when duly requested by the Speaker or a committee to comment on a proposal directly affecting the functions of the office. The office shall maintain the attorney-client relationship with respect to all communications between it and any member or committee of the House. To U.S. Code Paragraph 281B, Functions. The functions of the office shall be as follows. 1. Upon request of the managers on the part of the House at any conference on the disagreeing votes of the two houses, to advise and assist the managers on the part of the House in the course of the conference, and to assist the committee of conference in the preparation of the conference report and any accompanying explanatory statement. 2. Upon request of any committee of the House, or any joint committee having authority to report legislation to the House, to advise and assist the committee in the consideration of any legislation before it, and to assist the committee in the preparation of drafts of any such legislation, amendments thereto, and reports thereon. 3. Upon request of any member having control of time during the consideration of any legislation by the House, to have in attendance on the floor of the House not more than 2 members of the staff of the office, and, in his discretion, the Legislative Counsel to advise and assist such member and, to the extent feasible, any other member, in the course of such consideration. 4. Upon request of any member, subject to such reasonable restrictions as the Legislative Counsel may impose with the approval of the Speaker on the proportion of the resources of the office which may be devoted to the requests of any one member, to prepare drafts of legislation and to furnish drafting advice with respect to drafts of legislation prepared by others. 5. At the direction of the Speaker, to perform perform on behalf of the House of Representatives any legal services which are within the capabilities of the office and the performance of which would not be inconsistent with the provisions of Section 281A of this title or the preceding provisions of this section. 2 U.S. Code Part 2, Administration. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282, Legislative Counsel. The management, supervision, and administration of the office are vested in the Legislative Counsel, who shall be appointed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives without regard to political affiliation and solely on the basis of fitness to perform the duties of the position. Any person so appointed shall serve at the pleasure of the Speaker. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282A, Staff, Deputy Legislative Counsel, Delegation of Functions. A. With the approval of the Speaker, or in accordance with policies and procedures approved by the Speaker, the Legislative Counsel shall appoint such attorneys and other employees as may be necessary for the prompt and efficient performance of the functions of the office. Any such appointment shall be made without regard to political affiliation and solely on the basis of fitness to perform the duties of the position. Any person so appointed may be removed by the Legislative Counsel with the approval of the Speaker, or in accordance with policies and procedures approved by the Speaker. B. 1. One of the attorneys appointed under subsection A shall be designated by the Legislative Counsel as Deputy Legislative Counsel. During the absence or disability of the Legislative Counsel, or when the office is vacant, the Deputy Legislative Counsel shall perform the functions of the Legislative Counsel. 2. The Legislative Counsel may delegate to the Deputy Legislative Counsel and to other employees appointed under subsection A such of his functions as he considers necessary or appropriate. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282B, Compensation. A. The Legislative Counsel shall be paid at a per annum gross rate equal to the greater of $173,900 or the rate of pay in effect for such position under an order issued by the Speaker of the House of Representatives pursuant to the authority of Section 4532 of this title. B. Members of the staff of the office other than the Legislative Counsel shall be paid at per annum gross rates fixed by the Legislative Counsel with the approval of the Speaker or in accordance with policies approved by the Speaker, but not in excess of the applicable rate of pay in effect under an order issued by the Speaker of the House of Representatives pursuant to the authority of Section 4532 of this title. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282C, Expenditures. In accordance with policies and procedures approved by the Speaker, the Legislative Counsel may make such expenditures as may be necessary or appropriate for the functioning of the office. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282D, Official Mail Matter. The Legislative Counsel may send the official mail matter of the office as franked mail under Section 3210 of Title 39. 2 U.S. Code Paragraph 282E, Authorization of Appropriations. There are authorized to be appropriated, for the fiscal year ending June 30, 1971, and for each fiscal year thereafter, such sums as may be necessary to carry out the subchapter and to increase the efficiency of the office and the quality of the services which it provides.